Hi, Cooper Glover 1972, back with another video. This video is going to be about Ridley Scott. I have a number of his video movies, and I guess we'll get to it. So before I start on showing you my collection of his movies, I already showed you one. If you go back further in my series of videos on my collection, you'll see one titled Alien. That covers the Alien box set, so that covers one of his movies. But the rest I haven't featured yet, so here we go. So first up, we got The Duelist. This is a film he made before Alien. It was his first feature. It features Ridley Scott's first short film called Boy and Bicycle. It's kind of interesting movie. What else does it have? A commentary by Ridley Scott, commentary and isolated score by Howard Blake, dueling directors Ridley Scott and Kevin Reynolds featurette, photo gallery, storyboard, theatrical trailer. So Keith Carradine and Harvey Keitel are in this movie. It's set during the Napoleonic era. I believe they both go into Russia. I'm sort of scanning the back here, skimming it. The commentary is pretty interesting because, he had to work on a low budget. So one of the things he did, for example, was he for furniture, he draped fabric over furniture to save on money, maybe from buying period decor. I'm not quite sure, but the commentary sheds a lot of light on how he shot on a very low budget. It's not a bad movie. I think a lot of people compare it with Barry Lyndon. Check out my Kubrick video. It's called that video is called Zatoichi, which is a samurai series box set with my Kubrick box set, and in the Kubrick box set is Barry Lyndon, which is a period film like this film, but it's set a little farther back in Europe in the mid 1700s. And it's set in Ireland, England, and mainland Europe. And this is mainland Europe too, France, and Russia. So this is a good movie. I haven't watched it in a while. Next, Legend. Tom Cruise, Mia Sara. Tim Curry is I don't know if you call him the devil. He's the Lord of Darkness. But it's basically literally good and evil. The literal embodiments of those standards are in this movie. And it has various other characters in it, are they trolls, or one's a being called Meg Mucklebutt or something like that, and it's they're in this green makeup, and they've got I think the person comes out of a swamp or something. They're very tall. I think they got long fingernails. Tim Curry does a pretty good performance in this. And let me just say what disc one has a never before seen director's cut with Jerry Goldsmith's score. It's also got an audio commentary by Ridley Scott. Second version has the U.S. theatrical version with the Tangerine Dream score. The bonus materials, Creating a Myth and Making a Legend, isolated score by Tangerine Dream, Lost Scenes, alternate opening, 4 goblins. That's it, goblins. There's goblins in it. and a recreation of the fairy dance using rare photos, storyboards, and original music. Storyboards. Lily and the Unicorns, Jack's Challenge, that Jack is played by Tom Cruise, and Downfall of Darkness, Brian Ferry's Is Your Love Strong Enough music video, photo galleries, publicity photographs, images of legend, continuity Polaroids, 2 theatrical trailers, 4 TV spots, production notes, cast and filmmaker bios. He's got a DVD-ROM, script to scene comparison. I've mentioned the DVD-ROM on some of these movies, but I don't know if people use that anymore, or if there's any technology. I mean, I have a MacBook Pro, and it doesn't have a slot to put your DVD in, so I had to buy an external drive, and it only accepts. I wish it would accept Blu-ray, but it only accepts DVDs. So with my Blu-rays, I have to play them off my player. I'm digressing a little bit, but I think there's a picture of Tim Curry on here in back of this DVD, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it's just, you see it on the front too. There it is right there, Tim Curry. Yeah, so, here's some pictures. So we got a unicorn. Let's see, what do you have? Unicorn, you have there's that Meg Mucka. Meg whatever its name is. I haven't watched this film in not a little while, quite some time. Goblins, fairies. It's got good special effects. But basically, as I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about another movie, a movie called Dark Crystal, which I showed with my Disney and Pixar films. The Dark Crystal, in that particular movie, the Gelflings are trying to put the shard inside the crystal, so that world can become more peaceful again and bring the Skeksis and the Uru together into one being rather than split apart into good and bad. So with Legend, I think there's that kind of element too, where I guess it's Tom Cruise has to restore things, or otherwise he'll stay in a destroyed state or whatever. So anyways, let's get to the next one. Ridley Scott won Best Picture for this. I think he won Best Director for this. Some people like this film. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I dislike this movie. I wouldn't say that. Gladiator. But I think it's a little long. Not that I don't like long movies, but I think it drags a little. It's got a good story to it. The general who became a slave, the slave who became the gladiator who defied an empire. It's got a film commentary from director Ridley Scott, deleted scenes, complete with director's commentary, treasure chest and unique montage of additional footage cut to the powerful score, interview with award-winning composer Hans Zimmer scoring the film. He's a great composer, in my opinion. And he also has a class. He has these master classes. I've seen them on Facebook. Werner Herzog was teaching one on directing. Aaron Sorkin of The West Wing was teaching one on script writing. I've never really watched The West Wing. I wasn't too I've only seen bits and pieces of it, and I don't know. I'm not just I can't really get into it. I don't think I've ever sat down for a whole episode of The West Wing to watch it, and I don't know if I'm going to rush to it at any point. But Hans Zimmer has his own masterclass as well. So, anyways, two extraordinary behind-the-scenes featurettes, one-of-a-kind production diary written by young actor Spencer Treat Clark, who plays Lucius, special slideshow featuring concept art and storyboards, photo gallery from behind the scenes of the Gladiator set, theatrical trailers and TV spots, in-depth production notes, and detailed cast and filmmaker biographies. So, and there's some notable actors in this, like besides, the chief ones like Russell Crowe and what's his name, Joaquin Phoenix. You have Richard Harris. I think Richard Harris is in this, and I think that's who plays what's the character's name, Marcus Aurelius, and Oliver Reed is in this movie too, and he died during the film, and so they used computers to digitally put him in the film. So, but when it gets towards the end of the film, it drags a little, then it picks up again. It's got a nice ending. I like that, but kind of, it's okay, This is a sequel to Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal. I enjoy this movie. I don't know if everybody does. I thought Julianne Moore wasn't bad as Clarice Starling. It's got a nice score. I think Hans Zimmer did the score to this. Let me see. Yes, Hans Zimmer did. And Petrio Scalia did the oh wait a minute, he's the editor. Cinematographer John Matheson. Who's the cinematographer on this one? Yeah, John Matheson. They same cinematographer. It's got some nice cinematography in Florence. It's got a never-before-seen alternate ending with optional director commentary, over 35 minutes of deleted and alternate scenes with optional director commentary, feature-length commentary by Ridley Scott, breaking the silence of 5 unique making-of featurettes, including rare footage and interviews, multi-angle featurette on the art of storyboarding, anatomy of a shootout, a 5-angle breakdown of the fish market action scene, multi-angle exploration of the film's opening title design, gallery featuring trailers, TV spots, rare production stills, and unused poster concepts, and more. But the behind-the-scenes stuff is pretty fascinating on this, how they did some of the makeup. There's a main documentary on this that goes through the whole process of the making of the film and how they went about preparing for it, shooting it, editing it. It's pretty interesting, and it's not a bad film either. I think, in my opinion, the film that followed this was Red Dragon, which I didn't think was that fantastic, but I like this movie. I think it's not a bad movie. And very nice use of Florence for the film, and very good cinematography and beautiful music, like the opera music. And then we have a film that Roger Ebert was sort of down on Ridley Scott for most of the career until when Ridley Scott made this movie, Black Hawk Down, which Roger Ebert thought was one of the best films of the year, I believe. David Hansen says Ridley Scott's uncompromising vision is awesome. So, and this version of Black Hawk Down is fantastic. It's got audio commentary by director, producer Ridley Scott and producer Jerry Bruckheimer, audio commentary by Arthur Mark Bowden, and screenwriter Ken Nolan, audio commentary by Task Force Ranger veterans. This too is the essence of combat, making Black Hawk Down a 150-minute documentary, 8 deleted and alternate scenes with optional commentary, designing Mogadishu featurette, production design archive, storyboards with optional commentary, Ridley Grams with optional commentary. Ridley Grams are sort of like storyboards, like maybe thumbnail sketches. Jerry Bruckheimer's PhD photo album, title design explorations with optional commentary, photo galleries. Ridley Scott is a very visual filmmaker. That's what's great about his films, is he can he can see the film made before he steps on the only director I can think of that thinks his film's out before he walks on the set would be Alfred Hitchcock. And there are other directors that when they make the movie, they might have a plan or maybe not, but like when Malcolm McDowell was with Kubrick making Clockwork Orange, Kubrick says, or Malcolm McDowell asked him, "How do you work?" And Kubrick said, what did he say? He said, I don't know what I want, but I do know what I don't want. So, Disc 3 on Black Hawk Down has History Channel presents The True Story of Black Hawk Down. PBS presents Frontline, Ambush, and Mogadishu. That's a good show, Frontline, even though I don't have cable anymore. Mission Timeline, Target Building Insertion, Multi-Angle Sequence with optional commentary. Question and Answer Forum, BAFTA, Motion Picture Editors Guild, and American Cinematheque. Gortaz Iran, J10s, music video performed by Dennis Prejant and Lisa Gerard, theatrical poster concepts, trailer, and TV spot. So this is like Hannibal, like I think Gladiators like this. It's loaded with special features, and it's a really good movie. And what can I say about this? Just really good war movie, and has a great starting with a quote by Plato, which says, "Only the dead have seen the end of war." And then this film I have 2 different versions of it. I'll show you the theatrical version first. It's called Kingdom of Heaven with Orlando Bloom, Liam Neeson, Eva Green, Jeremy Irons, Ed Norton. It's got text commentary in this one, production notes while you watch the film, experience perspective of the director, cast, or crew, movie reel Kingdom of Heaven seen on the A&E network, History vs. Hollywood Knocking of Heaven, Kingdom of Heaven rather, as seen on the History Channel, 4 behind-the-scenes featurettes, theatrical trailer. Now that might sound okay, and this film did terribly at the box office, by the way. It kind of bombed. That might sound okay to you. But let me just show this. I mean, it doesn't have. What I'm going to show you next is going to knock the socks off of this one. If you think this is an okay version to own, well, I would counter. If I can get this back in here. There we go. That this version is a better one to get. And it's a 4-disc director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven. It's much more in depth, much longer, but longer in a good way. Audio commentaries: Ridley Scott, Orlando Bloom, writer William Monahan, executive producer Lisa Alizzi, visual effects supervisor Wesley Sewell, first assistant director Adam Somner, film editor Dodie Dorn, who worked for Christopher Nolan on I don't know if she worked on Inception or not. She worked on Memento, I believe. I think she worked on the Batman movies. The Engineer's Guide, a new on-screen text track with production notes and trivia about the film. And then you have discs 3 and 4, which have an all-access 6-part feature-length documentary detailing the film's historical origins, script development, pre-production, shooting in Spain and Morocco, editing, music, and theatrical release. Over 30 minutes of additional deleted and extended scenes with commentary, all-new featurette covering the film's historical accuracy, crafting weapons and costumes, planning the massive siege sequence, and creating the director's cut. Ridley Scott's never-before-seen cast rehearsals with Orlando Bloom, Eva Green, Liam Neeson, David Thewlis, and Martin Chokius. Visual effects breakdowns with commentary, interactive sound design suite with some sample tracks and mini featurettes, an early draft of the screenplay and development notes, production design, conceptual art, costume unit photography, and storyboard galleries, footage from the London, New York, and Tokyo premieres, domestic and international poster explorations, trailers, and TV spots. So this is really incredibly in-depth. It's got a nice design to it as well. A hero will discover his destiny. So if you want to buy a Ridley Scott movie and you want it real in-depth, well, you know, Black Hawk Down was pretty in-depth, I guess you could say. Hannibal is fairly in-depth. So you got these DVDs. Oh, wait a minute, there's one. So you got, let's see, Orlando Bloom on that one. That's the film itself. And then you have the special features here. Part 1's called The Path to Redemption. Second one's called, same thing, with Saladin right there. And Eva Green right there. Right there. And it comes with this book. And here we have, be without fear in the face of your enemies. Speak the truth always, even if it leads to your death. Safeguard the helpless and do no wrong. That is your oath. So I think Ridley Scott said he thinks it might have failed at the box office because of the fact that the studio cut it, chopped it up more. So this is just some text, some information. So here we have part 3 is the development, pre-production, rehearsals, and production design, which is fascinating with how they build Jerusalem and all that, and the storyboards and the how they do the sound, the editing. Pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's what you get with a Ridley Scott film. It's very in-depth, detailed work. That's what he is. He's a visual director, and I think that that is what movies should be. First off, is a visual phenomenon, visual thing. Sound is important too, and I think Ridley Scott recognizes that fact. But he's definitely a cinematic director, not a talky director, not like a theater play director, but understands that film is visual, So, and last off, this might take some time to look at. Is my box set of Blade Runner, and I know this has probably been shown on YouTube a lot. This I bought in 2007. I bought it off of Amazon. It's shaped like a white conf briefcase, and then you open the case here, and you get is it back? Oh, it's upside down. So you get a letter from Ridley Scott, spinner toy, origami unicorn, lenticular scene, glass piece from the film, and some production art and storyboards. So I'll show that bit by bit. So Ridley Scott says, Blade Runner, the final cut, is a product of a process that began in early 2000 and continued off and on through 7 years of intense research and meticulous restoration, technical challenges, amazing discoveries, and new possibilities. The film's 35mm footage was scanned at 4K resolution off the original negative, while its groundbreaking visual effects were scanned at 8K resolution off pristine 65mm elements, all resulting in a stunning visual experience, the likes of which have not been seen since the film's 1982 release. And perhaps not even then. Likewise, we used existing six tracks masters to remix the film's immersive soundtrack with today's state-of-the-art technology. I have included the 4 previously seen versions of the film and newly transferred anamorphic widescreen with original unaltered 5.1 sound taken from archival 6 tracks. My goal was to give you the film in whatever form you prefer, with the best picture and sound quality possible. And finally, I've assembled a collection of in-depth documentaries, multifaceted commentaries, never before seen footage, and rare artwork to give you a deeper appreciation of all the work that went into making of this film. I can now wholeheartedly say that Blade Runner, the final cut, is my definitive director's cut of the film, Ridley Scott. So, anyways, I'll just show you this. That's like a picture he did, drawing right here. So, first off, I'll show the set of discs. Just got a Deckard back there. People say, I think it's still divided, but I think Ridley Scott has a definite answer for it, and that is that Deckard is a replicant. I believe that. I believe he is a replicant because how could he have not found the other replicants? And then the line, oops, excuse me, I just dropped one. There are lines in the film like when it's kind of tricky here. There are lines in the film like "You wouldn't have come if I just asked you to," by Bryant, who's played by Emmett Walsh. Sorry about holding you up here. I'm just trying to... Oh, did I show you these? That's Dangerous Days. That's the making of Blade Runner. And it's long. It's longer than the movie itself. It's about 3 hours and a half. I see. Put that there. This here. It's got nice images on each. Roy Batty, Pris. Zora. It's just hard to show this and not have stuff fall out. Oh, something just fell. But you can see, I think it's the Tyrell Corporation there. Really nice work there. Flying cars. I don't mind not having this on Blu-ray. I don't think I need it on Blu-ray. I mean, the fact that Ridley Scott scanned this onto like a 4K transfer. I have a flat screen television, and I have, Blu-ray player that might punch up the color, what have you. But so, anyways, it's got the final cut, which is really the director's cut. And it has the director's cut, which is made in the late 90s. Not late 90s, what am I talking about? 92, I believe. Which took out the voiceover narration that was shown in the theatrical version and in the international version as well. The international and the theatrical version have the happy ending in the wilderness with Deckard and Rachel. And then there's the work print, which has some other type of music besides Vangelis' score. And my favorite cut is probably the final cut and probably the director's cut. But I don't mind watching the other ones with the voiceover narration as well. Dangerous Days has some parts here. Incept date, 1980. Screenwriting and deal making. Blush responds, assembling the cast. A good start, designing the future. Eye of the Storm. Production begins. Living in fear, tension on the set. Beyond the Window. Visual effects. In need of magic, post-production problems. To Hades and back. Release and resurrection. So, and then it has another, on another disc, it has Enhancement Archive, Inception, The Electric Dreamer, Remembering Philip K. Dick, Sacrificial Sheep, the novel versus film, Philip K. Dick, The Blade Runner Interviews, Fabrication, Signs of the Time, Graphic Design, Fashion Forward, Wardrobe and Styling, Screen Test, Rachel and Pris, The Light That Burns, Remembering Jordan Cronenweth, Deleted and alternate scenes. But so it's loaded to the gills with information about the movie. So And I've watched it several times. It's one of my default movies, like Fight Club, for example. That if I don't know what to watch, I'll stick this in the player. Um, and oh, so I was talking about Deckard as a replicant. Um, so Brian says to him, what does he say? He says, "You're not cop, you're little people." So that might refer to the fact he might be a replicant. And of course, now that I think about it, Batty says to Deckard at the end of the film, he says, "Little man, proud of yourself, little man." So maybe he is a replicant. I think he's a replicant. There's the police spinner right there. I know Frank Darabont, the director of The Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption, he developed The Walking Dead. He is a huge size spinner car. He's a big fan of this movie. He believes Deckard's a human, I guess. But I don't know. I think if you're a Blade Runner fan, wherever you fall, if you believe he is a replicant or you don't, I think probably both sides can be right. That's what I think. It might be one of the reasons why it's such a great movie. I'm trying to pull this. Oh, it's stuck. Wait a minute, sec. So, let's see. Oh, there we go. I was doing it a second ago here. Of course, you're seeing it over again, projected. You can see that. Well, anyways, you see it, right? There you go. So that's a scene where Deckard senses somebody has been waiting at his apartment door, and it turns out it's Rachel. The behind the scenes stuff is fascinating. It wasn't a great shoot for people, I guess. I think it's one of Harrison Ford's best performances because he sort of acts kind of. He doesn't have like lots of emotion, and that's why I think he might be a replicant. Look at all that great stuff you get with a movie. I have read the book as well, Deandra's Dream of Electric Sheep. I've read some other books of Philip K. Dick. So here you have some photos, or not photos. Design of his kitchen, Deckard's kitchen. Music is fantastic in this movie. The production design by Sid Mead and Lawrence Paul is unbelievable. Visual effects by Douglas Trumbull, unbelievable. The fact that this might become a reality is like things like cloning and pollution and overpopulation. These are storyboards, by the way, here. That's the scene with Leon and who's the other Blade Runner? Let's see, what's his name? Holden, yeah. And later on in the movie, that's Pris fighting Deckard. White Kampf machine. So, it's a film about what it means to be human, what life, the value of life, mortality, I guess love, you know. I think in this film, sort of, in a way, you could say that the main so-called villain of this movie, the Rutger Hauer character, Roy Batty, is actually the hero because he has feelings, he can feel, and Deckard is more, even though he's supposed to be the protagonist, he's more of a, he doesn't, I don't know if he has empathy, well, I don't know, maybe he has empathy because he has empathy for Rachel, but he transforms, I think, at the end of the movie to something. How can I put this? I don't know if I'm thinking through this enough. It's just that Roy Batty he's just a wants mortality, wants to know why he exists, that kind of a thing, and I don't know. Well, that's that. So, anyways, that finishes off the Ridley Scott movies. So I don't. Well, I'm not quite sure, but I think that finishes off all the directors I have. I mean, I have other directors, but I might have just one of their movies. I think I'll do all the Criterions together. I don't know if there'll be just one video or a few videos. And then I have, and maybe I'll do all the Blu-rays together, do all the DVDs together or in parts. Like I said, like a hodgepodge, like a smattering, a random assortment. And that'll include the Criterions as well, probably. And then, of course, a video on Seinfeld, so my complete series of that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out and staying to the end of this video to see what I had to say. I don't know if I really sounded very articulate about about Blade Runner. But yeah, it's just a fantastic movie. I mean, visually it's unbelievable to watch, and the music and the sound and just the atmosphere of the film is just unbelievable. It's one of those movies you get things out of more than once when you watch it. So, and the behind the scenes stuff in this is fantastic, unbelievable. And if you're going to buy Blade Runner, buy this box set, this Voight Kampf box set. I think they only made it says limited edition packaging. So I don't know if they are still selling this or it's out of print. You probably could buy it off of Amazon. Maybe you'd have to pay a big price. I paid about $55 for this. And I bought it in 2007, which was the 25th anniversary of the film. Anyways. And it says plus 9 hours of special features. So, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good investment, I'd say, if you want to buy, like the Lawrence of Arabia box set, you know. and maybe if you can't afford a lot of types of movies, or if you want to get a few box sets, I think this is a good one to have. Lawrence Arabia would probably be another one, and I don't know. There might be a few others I might maybe I could think of. I don't know, but maybe the Bond box sets. Yeah, I'm looking over my bookcase. I'm trying to see. Toy Story box set is pretty interesting. Of the ones I've watched, maybe the Indiana Jones. I don't know. Well, and the Alien box that's kind of interesting, but and these might be more affordable than like a Criterion box set. But you can get those Criterion box sets when the sales come up. And that reminds me, I have a Martin Scorsese World Cinema Project box set that's being borrowed from a friend of mine right now, by a friend of mine right now. There's going to be a second part, volume 2 of the Martin Scorsese World Cinema Project, or whatever it's called, and it's coming out, I believe, in May. So, I'm gonna probably, I think I'm gonna buy that when the Barnes and Noble sale kicks into gear. So, anyway, that's the video. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for viewing these videos. I also wouldn't mind some hits on my GarageBand videos, my poetry, my short treatment that I wrote, that I made into a storyboard with Google Photographs, called The Cost of Love #3. I did a short film for digital filmmaking class called Dirty Dog, where we did If Dogs Could Talk, so I did if dogs could sing. So anyways, but hits on that would be nice, on all those things. But I understand, people have other videos to watch on YouTube. They have movies to watch. They have books to read. They have to study. They have a job to do. And I can only do so much too. But if you can, please give them a watch. But I understand if you can't. But I don't know. I'm just pitching. I'm just trying to plug what I have on my channel. And if that stuff that I'm mentioning is further down in my videos, so you have to click on Show More, and then you have to click again on Show More to see all the stuff that's below. And then, like at the bottom of all my videos, you'll see things like, if you're wondering where Hitchcock, Buñuel, Jean-Pierre Melville is, Fellini, directors like that. Fellini, who else? Hitchcock. Did I say Hitchcock? Well, anyways, so that's the video. Thanks for watching, and as always, leave comments if you want. And I'm going to try to answer some more comments at a certain point. I'm trying to get a few videos done right now, because where I live, there's going to be a blizzard tomorrow. Well, tonight actually. And I thought I could, if the power goes out, I could record all these, maybe get them on YouTube or not, but at least record all of them before the blizzard comes, and then have them stored on the computer before, have enough power to record all of this, and charge the computer up again so I can use it again, or what have you. So I'm blathering. I'm going on and on. So thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Thanks.